Welcome to the online training session on the topic of effective planning and management systems, Part 1. This session is based on Principle 1 of the Sustainable Agriculture Standard. The criteria of Principle 1 will be explained in this session and the next two sessions. In this session, you will learn how to prepare a farm map, basic farm data, and how to manage your farm to optimize your productivity. Critical Criterion 1.1 asks for a farm baseline assessment to be conducted or updated every year. The first element for a baseline assessment is a farm map. Why is a farm map important? In order to make a good plan to manage your farm, you first need to know what exactly is on and around your farm. These are the elements that need to be included in a farm map. Production plots. For the production plot, you need to make a plan to manage your crop and optimize your productivity. Roads. When you have roads on and around the farm, people and workers will be passing there, so you need to make a plan to protect them from any chemical drift when the crops are being sprayed. Infrastructure. If you have housing or processing facilities on the farm, you need to manage them properly so that the houses are adequate for the people living on the farm and that the processing facility is a safe working place for the workers. These places also generate waste and wastewater, so you need to make a plan to manage them. Natural ecosystems. If you have streams, springs, or patches of forest on or around the farm, you need to make a plan to protect them. Boundary. You need to know where your farm ends. Whatever happens within your farm is under your responsibility, and you need to be accountable for it. Surrounding areas. You need to know what is next to your farm. If there is a forest, stream, or river next to your farm, you need to make a plan to ensure that you do not contaminate it with your agrochemical spraying. If there are schools or houses, you also need to be careful not to contaminate them. If there is a conventional farm that is applying agrochemicals intensively, you need to be careful not to be affected by their chemical drift. Let's see whether this map contains all the necessary elements. Production plots. We can see that all the production plots, their sizes, and the crop on each plot are indicated. A road is also indicated. Infrastructure. We see two buildings on this plot. Natural ecosystems. There are two patches of forest and a stream. The boundary of the farm is indicated. Surrounding areas. The map indicates all the neighboring farms and their crop. What about this map? Production plots. We can see that they are clearly indicated on the map. Roads. Both paved roads and trails are indicated. Infrastructure. We can identify both houses and processing facilities. Natural ecosystems. The farm has a creek, a stream, and a spring. The boundary of the farm is clearly indicated. Surrounding areas. We can see what is next to the farm on all sides. As long as all these elements are contained, the map can be hand-drawn or can be produced by a computer. If you use GPS equipment or a smartphone to obtain the exact location points, you will be able to draw a very precise map of the farm. To complete a farm baseline assessment, you also need to prepare farm data alongside the map. Here, you can put more detailed information about each plot that you cannot put in the map. The information of each plot should include crop, variety, density, crop age, renovation stage or rotation cycle, and production level. All this information is very important to assess the productivity of your farm and help you to improve productivity. Lastly, you also need to prepare farm data that shows the total production area, the areas that are used for agricultural production, the total area of natural ecosystems, the areas such as streams, forests, and rivers, and the total farm area. This information is very important to assess whether you meet the criterion in Principle 2 about native vegetation cover on the farm. For the details, please visit Module 5 on native vegetation. Once you have a farm map and farm data, the next step for good farm management is to understand what farm inputs you are spending on the farm. Each input means expense, so you need to use them very efficiently. What inputs are you likely to be spending on the farm? Fertilizers, including compost, organic fertilizers, and chemical fertilizers. Pesticides to control pests and diseases. Water, you may be using water for irrigation or for processing. Planting materials, such as seeds and plantlets. Labor, including your own labor, that of your family or hired workers. And energy, such as electricity and firewood. You need to think about how you can spend each of these inputs as effectively as possible. Your thoughts and ideas to optimize the input can be written into plans. Actions to use fertilizers efficiently, improve your soil, and increase your productivity can be written in a soil conservation and management plan. Please visit Module 7, Soil Management and Conservation, to learn how you can improve the soil and optimize the use of fertilizers. Your plans for efficient water use can be written into a water conservation plan. Please visit Module 8, Water Conservation, to get different ideas on efficient use of water. Pesticides are expensive and cause various negative effects on human health and the environment. By implementing an IPM plan, you can gradually reduce the use of pesticides. Please visit Module 10, Integrated Pest Management, to learn more about IPM techniques. When people working on the farm get injured or sick, they cannot work efficiently. You need to make a plan to ensure you and your workers' health and safety. Please visit Module 18 and Module 19 to learn how to achieve a healthy and safe working environment. Electricity and firewood are also important expenses on the farm, and use of energy is contributing to climate change. Please visit Module 14, Energy and Greenhouse Gas Emissions, to learn how to use energy more efficiently and to reduce the impacts of farming to climate change. Even if you use all your inputs efficiently, your production may still be affected by extreme weather due to climate change. You need to make a plan to prepare yourself for the extreme weather events such as storms and droughts. Criterion C1.7 asks to make all these plans of farm management optimize productivity and input use efficiency. In the farm management plan, let us also put the production volume that you are expecting and you intend to achieve, and the quality level that you plan to achieve. Let us manage the inputs and activities efficiently to achieve the expected productivity and quality. After you have the plans, how can you tell whether the activities on the plans are implemented on the farm? By keeping records. Criterion B1.10 asks for up-to-date records of inputs and production data. When you apply pesticides, you need to record the following items: name of product, active ingredient, quantity, date, plot name, area, application equipment, and pesticide handler name. When you apply fertilizers, you need to record the following items: type or name of the fertilizer, amount, and cost. When you use water for irrigation or for processing, you need to record the quantity of water used. Lastly, you need to keep records of your production. You need to record the total quantity of product and the quantity that is sold as certified. Once we have all these records, what should we do with them? We need to analyze them annually to see what went right, what went wrong, and what are the areas of improvement. Let us see whether the expected productivity and quality have been achieved and what we can do better. You can adjust the farm management plan accordingly for the following year. As you make a plan for your farm, are you thinking of making any big changes of your farm? For example, are you thinking of converting more than 500 hectares of non-crop areas into production areas? Or are you thinking of using more than 500,000 cubic meters of water per year for irrigation or processing, in addition to what you're already using? Or are you thinking of any operation that will generate more than 10,000 cubic meters of wastewater per year, in addition to what you're already generating? These limits are called ESIA parameters. Before you make any of these big changes, you need to conduct an independent environmental and social impact assessment according to Critical Criteria 1.4. Then, you need to make a plan to mitigate negative impacts and to enhance positive impacts of the change you are planning to make. If you are planning to make any significant change on your farm that exceeds the SAN ESIA parameters, please consult the SAN Guide for Environmental and Social Impact Assessment for more detail. Let us do some quizzes to confirm your understanding of the topics in this session. A farm prepared the following map of the farm. Does this map comply with the criterion? The answer is no. This farm map looks very nice and accurate, but only the production plots are indicated. For example, this farm does not indicate what is in the surrounding areas. You need to create a comprehensive map that includes all the information, such as natural ecosystems, roads, infrastructure on the farm, and its surrounding areas. Next quiz. A company bought 750 hectares of land that were previously used for cattle farming. The company is planning to convert the entire land into a pineapple farm. Does this farm need to conduct an independent environmental and social impact assessment, or ESIA? The answer is no. The definition of land conversion by the SAN does not include the case when a land use changes from one crop to another crop, from cattle production to crop production, or from crop production to cattle production. In this case, the land use is changed from cattle production to crop production. Therefore, it does not fall under the SAN definition of land conversion. Next quiz. A coffee farm is currently discharging 6,000 cubic meters of treated wastewater from its coffee mill to a nearby river each year. The treated wastewater meets the SAN wastewater parameters. The farm is planning to double its mill operation next year and will generate an additional 6,000 cubic meters of wastewater. The total amount of wastewater will be 12,000 cubic meters. Does this farm need to conduct an independent environmental and social impact assessment? The answer is no. The SAN ESIA parameters say that an ESIA is required when the new or additional wastewater discharge is more than 10,000 cubic meters per year. In this case, the additional wastewater discharge is 6,000 cubic meters, which is less than the limit. Therefore, an independent ESIA is not required. Last quiz. A tea farmer conducted different weed management for his two plots. For plot A, he uprooted hard weeds and kept soft weeds at a low height. For plot B, he applied herbicide repeatedly until weeds didn't come back. He kept records of his expenses and production for 3 years and analyzed them each year. He realized that the expenses for plot A are going down each year, while its productivity is going up. On the other hand, the expenses for Plot B are going up each year while its productivity is going down. After the analysis, he decided to follow the management of Plot A for all his farm. Does his action comply with the criteria? The answer is yes. This farmer made a plan for soil conservation and management of his farm, followed the plan, and kept records of his expenses and production. He analyzed the records and was able to draw a conclusion to improve his soil management plan. This series of his actions comply with multiple criteria of Principle 1, and you can see how making a plan, keeping records, and analyzing them can help you improve your productivity and use inputs efficiently. We all want our farm to be productive, but it doesn't happen in one day. It takes years of careful planning, detailed record keeping, and finding ways to improve the farm. Let us start the journey towards a productive and sustainable farm.